Please subscribe to this channel and also turn on your notification bell in order to get the latest updates.
Like Quebecians, ladies and gentlemen, like Quebecians, Cameroonians, certain Cameroonians deserve the right to decide what they want and not be told what they need. You can trust me on this. I promise you that if La République du Cameroon won't choose a genuine mediation path or negotiation, we will take the war into their own backyard. I promise you, we must hit them so hard until they are pregnant and producing refugees and internally displaced. We must hit them so hard that their people too begin to feel the kind of pain our people have felt for the last 6 years, that they remain silent. Why their children, their soldiers were sent to kill our people, rape our women, raise down our towns and decimate our structures. I told you that the language that La République du Cameroon understands is the language of violence. May I remind them that they have no monopoly over violence in a situation of war. Their current Canadian forum is a smokescreen until we have matched their barbarism with barbarism, their killings with killings, and violence with violence. Will they take anything dialogue seriously? And now to the Canadian meetings. Ladies and gentlemen, which are ongoing at the moment, the interim government has made it abundantly clear that it will not participate in the Canadian meetings. The main reason being that it falls far short of what the international community has recommended as a way forward. The international community has recommended an all-inclusive process, a process that digs into the root causes of the conflict, a process without preconditions. That's why every major country that we know endorsed the Swiss process. That process, as slow as it was a good example of what a genuine peace process should be. But scared, perhaps, of discussing the root causes, Cameroon staged a walkout and immediately coerced Canada to put up something that isn't by any standard close to an all-inclusive process. Trust me, ladies and gentlemen, our decision to stay away wasn't taken hastily or with emotions. We embarked on a lot of consultations, both within and without the interim government, before taking the decision to stay away from Canada. Some people have argued that we should have gone there to at least listen and all make our own point heard. And if they do not agree, we walk out. That doesn't make any sense, does it? Not at all. Once you know the process is not fair and that it cannot produce anything near the desired results, you waste your time and make yourself an accomplice to the end result that maintains the status quo, ladies and gentlemen. And do not forget, even if you walk out, no matter the good intentions therein, you leave your footprints in there. And if you choose not to walk out and sit in there, in the case of a vote, the chances are you are likely to be outvoted because, ladies and gentlemen, there are many proxy groups sitting in there, not for Ambazonia, but for La République du Cameroon. If it gets to a vote, they will all outvote us, and yet we would have been seated there to validate the sham by mere presence. But this is another thing. We do not want to be facilitators to the narrative that La République du Cameroon will be putting out at the end of those meetings. The narrative will either be that they have finally engaged the separatists and talks are ongoing, which may then last for maybe another 6 years while they continue to kill our people, or that they have reached an understanding with the separatists, even if that understanding is the form of state as in one Cameroon. One Cameroon. Fellow Ambazonians, I think that God has endowed me with a rare spirit of discernment. I know good intentions when I see them. I know good spirits when I see them too. There are none in the meetings holding in Canada. The meetings have been ongoing now in many sessions. Yet, there hasn't been a single statement that has come out from there. Even more astonishing is the fact that participants, people said to be representing you, are made by the Canadians to take an oath to silence, not to divulge any information from the meetings. What kind of conference is that? Do you want us to go there and not be in the position to come back and brief you with what the meeting is offering or deliberating upon? Of course, I don't think so. The La République du Cameroon proxy organization called Coalition for Dialogue and Negotiations last weekend hosted a gathering of some Ground Zero commanders in the diaspora. That meeting took place at the DoubleTree Hotel in Toronto as part of the capitulation agenda of the Canadian meetings. Anyone who walked in uninvited was hushed out. Fighting groups were heavily represented at the meeting. Can you imagine that nothing substantive has been raised or discussed in Canada? And yet, they are already talking to some of our Ground Zero commanders how to lay back, how they begin to lay back. No wonder Ground Zero has been quiet. I have warned, and I will continue to warn, that this Ground Zero so-called command is a clandestine ploy to cajole and bundle our fighters on the ground to subsequently hand them over to La République du Cameroon or have them lay down their arms in the concocted ceasefire that may emerge from Canada. The CDN, to the best of my knowledge, hasn't any mandate from Ambazonians to negotiate on their behalf. If it is not working for Ambazonia, it works for the office of Dion Ngute, and their funding is coming from there too. But they want everybody to believe they are sourcing for grants from foreign countries. Nothing, and I mean nothing, can be further from the truth. We know who is funding the CDN. It's not some foreign organizations. Fellow Ambazonians, this notwithstanding, we didn't just stay away or protest Canada. We have put out our official position to Canada, the Cameroon government, and the international community as the interim government. Amongst other things, we have suggested that if the Canadian and Cameroon governments think that the Canadian or Quebec example is what is good for Cameroon and Southern Cameroons, then the way to go about it is first to give the Southern Cameroons the opportunity that Quebecians had twice in a referendum to decide what form of state they want. Let me quote from some of the paragraphs we have sent out to the Canadian government and the Cameroon government, and of course international community, we have asked that an exclusive and internationally supervised referendum for the people of the Southern Cameroons is a recommendation prior to the kind of forum that is holding in Canada. An internationally supervised referendum exclusively for the people of the Southern Cameroons, a referendum in which Cameroon has nothing, zero to do with, is the best solution that will most certainly and peacefully resolve this conflict with justice. In most previous cases where the people have expressed a strong desire to decide for themselves, a referendum, as in Quebec, has been the answer. Recent cases include the United Kingdom and the European Union, Scotland, Quebec, Bougainville, South Sudan, Algeria, Eritrea, East Timor, and you can go on and name the rest. The advantage of a referendum is that it gives a voice. It gives a voice to all shades of opinion within the Southern Cameroons, whether they be federalist, unionist, or independentist. It offers the most transparent method, ladies and gentlemen, for the people to express themselves. It resolves the thorny question of who should speak for the people. Yes, of the Southern Cameroons. It gives the Republic of Cameroon the golden opportunity to legitimize its rule, even if it is contested and baseless. It is a tried and tested process in the world. It puts an end to all the tricks and manipulation of international opinion. It will automatically bring about a ceasefire once both sides understand that the solution does not lie in the gun, but the voice of the people. The president of Cameroon, Paul Biya himself, proposed this solution in 1999 in Jeune Afrique article of March 1999. Should the people of the Southern Cameroons reject independence in an internationally supervised referendum, ladies and gentlemen, and choose federation, or the Canadian example, as they say, only at such a moment, again, only at such a moment would the ongoing Canadian meeting be deemed appropriate and qualify our participation or the participation of this interim government. Like Quebecians, ladies and gentlemen, like Quebecians, Cameroonians, Southern Cameroonians deserve the right to decide what they want and not be tabled what they need. This is the major problem with the ongoing Canadian Forum. The people of the Southern Cameroons, ladies and gentlemen, the people of the Southern Cameroons, therefore, appeal to the government of Canada to use its good offices, proven commitment and dedication to peace between the two Cameroons to kindly transmit to its international partners and the Republic of Cameroon the firm position of the people of the Southern Cameroon.